So let's move on then. So after the FDA announced its full approval of Pfizer's and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine, President Biden urged employers to require their employees to be vaccinated. Now, Moderna is one of the companies that has announced that it's going to require all of its U.S. staff to be vaccinated by October, I think it is. Moderna is going to allow for medical and religious exemptions on a case-by-case basis, and I think other companies are taking a similar stance. But Brian, putting the controversy, and there is a controversy about these vaccine mandates, but putting the controversy aside, do you think these mandates could drive these stocks higher? Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna, do you think maybe the mandates could have a positive impact on the stocks?
I mean, they shouldn't. In fact, I might argue that the mandates, make them less valuable. And hear me out here, because sort of thinking backwards. But the companies already have contracts to sell the vaccines to the government, and so the government already has these orders for the vaccines. Has more orders for vaccines than people in this country. So more vaccines, more vaccinations, because people are doing what they need to do to keep their job, doesn't necessarily mean more revenue for the companies. But if everybody got vaccinated tomorrow, which obviously isn't going to happen, but let's just say they did, then the circulation of the Delta variant would become dramatically slower. And with low circulation means lower replication. And with lower replication means that there's a lower chance of developing new mutations that would make the virus even more virulent, which would mean we would need more booster shots. But if we don't get those mutations, then we might need less booster shots. So in theory, this could theoretically more vaccinations could theoretically harm the long-term prospects for the vaccines.
Now that is really going against the grain of conventional wisdom there, Brian. But what you just said makes sense, actually.
The reality is that we're only talking about one country, and it's
right.
A global pandemic. And so even if we get it completely under control, it's still going to be replicating in other countries, and therefore have a chance of getting of mutating and becoming a variant. I mean, we used to call the variants not by alpha, beta, gamma, delta, but by the country that the mutation occurred in, right? So
yeah.
They're definitely occurring outside the U.S. And so that's gonna affect the overall pandemic and might still make boosters necessary.
Right. Yeah, that's an important point, that this isn't just a U.S. issue, and variants. Actually, the variants that have emerged so far have emerged from countries other than the U.S., the ones that have received names anyway. So, yeah, and of course, this was just a hypothetical question anyway, because not every company is going to mandate vaccines. I mean, I think that's highly unlikely. So, yeah, it may be that vaccine mandates really don't matter much to these stocks at all. In the big scheme of things.
That's probably reasonable to say that there definitely doesn't benefit them, but I'm not sure it really hurts them that much. But that was just the counter argument.
Right. I like it. I like the going outside conventional wisdom kind of thinking, Brian.